Well, let's jump to this next story from the Daily Wire. Trump revokes Biden's security clearance, cites poor mental acuity. Joe, you're fired. I almost couldn't believe this when I heard. We're set at the show and Kellen was like, hey, they revoked Biden's security clearance. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I think you said, did you just tell him he was fired? And then you pull up the tweet and it's like literally says, Joe, you're fired.
Kellen was like, you're fired, Joe. And I was like, did he actually say you're fired? So here's what Trump said. There's no need for Joe Biden to continue receiving access to classified information. Therefore, we are immediately revoking Joe Biden's security clearances and stopping his daily intelligence briefings. He set this precedent in 2021 when he instructed the intelligence community to stop the 45th president of the United States, me, from accessing details on national security, a courtesy provided to former presidents. The Her report revealed that Biden suffers from poor memory and even in his prime could not be trusted with sensitive information. I will always protect our national security. Joe, you're fired. Make America great again. Wow.
Good.
One of the best examples where the people on the left will be really mad that he did this, not understanding that they did this to him first because they'll expect the Republicans to just lie over and play dead.
Yeah, Independent writes that he did it as revenge against his predecessor, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't care.
Then what did his predecessor do? His predecessor was just getting revenge too.
I mean, right. Biden is genuinely unwell. Yeah. I mean, I don't think even the left, some of the left recognizes this. He's not going.
Oh, they all recognize it. They just been lying the whole time. And it's like, what's really crazy? At a certain point, I genuinely do not understand how people watch Brian Tyler Cohen or David Pakman or even to a certain degree like Cenk Uygur. I understand the Young Turks have been like, we're populist and we understand. But I'm like, how does any sane person literally say, I want my tax dollars going to like pottery classes in Morocco? Like, this is the craziest thing about it. How are there people who are actually watching these shows where they're like, how dare Trump shut down the sending of our tax dollars to Morocco for pottery classes? And it's like, do you really want that?
Do you think a lot of them are even realizing that, or they just buy these narratives that Elon Musk is shutting this stuff down to enrich himself or commit identity fraud, which are these weird arguments that they're making?
Well, they're claiming that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you're
Elon
actually
stole
thinking
the treasury data.
I think you're thinking about it a lot deeper than the average person who complains about stuff like this. I think most of them never make it past the headline.
Right, but if your argument is that the people who watch David Pakman are dumb as a box of rocks, I'll agree with you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even going that far. I'm saying just the people who think in memes and don't really think beyond the headline. I don't think they're actually thinking that far down because they would have to actually read the data on where a lot of this money is going. But do you remember when the girl, what was the program for Pakistan that came out like last year? It was like $10 million to study gender in Pakistan or something like that. And those
studies in Pakistan, it was 12 million in the omnibus.
The point is like we see stuff like that and we get annoyed because we know that these omnibus bills are packed with pork and we understand that this kind of crap comes and goes. But the average person, they just trust a lot of people, they just trust the government when it's Democrats.
So what you're saying is, according to this chart, your average David Pakman viewer would be a 5, and your average Timcast viewer would be a 1.
Look, I make it at least to the 3 there.
I've met people that literally cannot like draw or picture
visualize things.
Yeah, visualize an apple. I met somebody. They say some people don't have an inner voice.
Yeah,
that's just the wildest thing.
That's actually a lot of people.
Yeah, it is a lot.
They think in like abstracts and content. That's crazy to me.
I don't know how that works.
There's a really good Aiden Paladin video on inner monologue.
I don't know how it works. It's like, take a shower.
We have people watch this show and they'll comment saying like, I don't think in words. And it's funny, like there was a viral video where a woman was like, you guys hear like words in your head? That's crazy. And it's just like, how do you think? Like, how do you plan things?
I can't imagine how you don't like. I mean, I go around like I'll like walk through the house constantly muttering to myself because I'm thinking out loud, but it's when I'm around other people, I know that it's a bad thing to mutter, but I'm still thinking the words.
I don't have an inner monologue. I have an inner lecture. It's just in my mind. It's Phil sitting in a chair explaining everything to me, and I'm just looking at him going, "That's a good point, Phil." So I'm visualizing it in 3D. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that I can be.
I just don't think that a lot of people have even made it as far as to believe anything that they're reading here. They just assume that the government, as long as Democrats are running it, are good people. And if we were sending money over there, they're like, well, there must be a reason.
I think the NPC meme is real.
Yeah.
Here's what's happened. There is a finite amount of souls And so now when there's a lot of people being born, some of them have no souls. Those are NPCs and they vote Democrat. I'm kidding, by the way, but I know they're going to take that seriously and clip that.
I mean, I don't even know.
Christians will get mad too.
I don't even know if it's NPCs. I think it's a lot of it is like nowadays you become a tourist in politics and you read a couple of headlines that really upset you. But we understand that these social media companies did a lot of work to figure out what makes people post on platforms, and stuff that makes you angry gets you to post. So even if you don't read about politics all day, you read something that says that Elon Musk is stealing social security numbers, whatever this bullshit that the stuff that they're reading, and that gets them to post on it, but they're not actually doing the legwork to look into this stuff. And if they did, I don't know if they'd believe it because they've been lied to their whole lives.
Now we've got like
NPC.
these fake, we've got these on NPC, we've got these fake profiles now, like Facebook's making AI accounts.
Yeah,
right?
they admitted
And
it, didn't they?
Yeah, there was a company I read recently that they do like AI support, like customer support, and they were making AI LinkedIn profiles for their quote unquote employees, which is just AI. And people were like, they were applying for jobs and like open to work, right? And these aren't real people. And LinkedIn banned them.
Guys, have you seen Westworld? Did you watch Westworld, Brett?
First season.
You didn't watch beyond the first season?
First season.
So I watched the first season, then stopped, and then recently started watching the second and third. The premise of the show, it's an old show, so I'll just spoiler alert. The purpose of, so you know what Westworld is?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I've never watched.
Yeah, like you go to this fake planet where it's like you get to pretend to be a cowboy and do whatever you want. They were actually mapping people's behaviors and mapping their personalities to create profiles of the person. And then they were replicating them as these androids. And so basically the bad guy, this woman, Evan Rachel Wood, is killing humans and then using the data on them that they've stored from collecting their profile and then putting their copy into a robot body. So we're very much getting to that point when they're creating AI profiles for people without them knowing. And there's let me tell you guys, you want something scary? I think it's now becoming clear why Elon Musk bought X. You know why he did? Why he bought Twitter? The best training algorithm for an LLM.
Yeah.
That's it. The best training model. You can take all of the articles from Huffington Post and Breitbart and the New York Times and whatever, or you can have what they call the fire hose. That is the massive stream of human consciousness, and Grok is absorbing it all.
I think that, between the 15 years that Tesla has been taking data from Tesla vehicles that were out in the road or on the road, and the enormous amount of data that's in X, he might have the largest database, might have actual ownership of the largest database for AI to exploit in the world.
And Tesla's incentivizing people now to use their full self-driving with insurance discounts. Like if you have a Tesla and you use it's in trial period, so not everybody gets this. But if you use a certain percentage of your driving is done with full self-driving, you will get a percentage discount.
Yeah, that's all. That's 99% of my driving.
Yeah,
and the only reason I say 99 is because when I'm parking, even though they can park themselves now, but usually. So the problem with full self-driving is it can't navigate non-map streets. So when you're in a rural area, it will. So what it does is, like, if I put an address in a rural area, the car will drive past the address. Yeah. Because you have to stop and then go down a dirt road, which is like, it's a big acreage. So that's the only 1%. Usually I'm just sitting there with my eyes. This is what I do. This is how I drive my Tesla. I go like this. I put these things on, and then I just sit back and go. And then I'm kidding, by the way. Don't do that. But the way Tesla works is they have a camera that watches everything you do. And if your eyes go off the road, even to look at your Spotify or whatever, the screen starts flashing. And then it's like, pay attention to the road. And then it'll turn red and then shut off. So don't do that. People were doing crazy stuff, though, with it. They were putting weights on the steering wheel. But now you don't need it. Now you can literally just press the button, you click the wheel, and you sit there. And then the car just drives itself 100%.
But you still have to look at the road, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're looking at the road.
But I heard Musk was talking about it a couple weeks ago. He believes that in third or fourth quarter 2025 or first quarter 2026, they'll release full self-driving unsupervised.
So I can sit in the back of my car?
So you could, that's what the Tesla taxi is. So like that, the technology that's in your full self-driving car is what they're putting in the Tesla taxi. Once the Tesla taxi is actually on, is deployed, it's the same thing.
I'll tell you one of the scariest things, though. I don't see it being ready. One of the Teslas can't drive on hills. That's just it. Full self-driving cannot deal with hills.
Why?
It cannot see over them. And so we have out here a lot of hills with curves. Every single time in full self-driving, it will go up the hill and into the wrong lane a few inches. It'll go over the median and then swerve right back once it realizes, because it's all camera-based. And it's kind of surprising to me because the road is mapped out. On my screen, it knows the curve is coming, but it goes up the hill, and then I'm thinking to myself, if there's a car coming the other way, we're colliding. Just boom. Nothing is. And there was also an instance I had a few months ago where a car stopped to make a right turn and the Tesla did not. And then right when I was probably like 2 inches, I just rammed the wheel to the left and onto the wrong side of the road to stop it from hitting a car. So it's getting there.
But that's the grandiose stuff. You were talking about the Facebook stuff, and I think they ended up getting, like, they pulled back on that program with the AI influencers and stuff, because it's a way to bump their numbers so that they can sell advertising on Meta. And, like, did you see the video of the guy who broke the AI, the female AI influencer on there? It's
What do you
really
mean broke it?
like, just got it turned it into like an uber racist.
Oh well, yeah. I mean that happens with every AI. As soon as word gets out that there's an AI, like the trolls are like, "All right, let's go start uploading Hitler stuff." You know,
The boomers can't handle the AI images though. Like,
No,
they can't
especially-
recognize it. Like it breaks their mind, and they love it though. They'll post like what politician was it when they had there was like flooding or something, and she posted a picture of a girl holding a teddy bear, and it was like AI generated photo, and people were like, "Yeah, this is AI," and she just couldn't. She refused to like recognize it for a bit. I don't remember, but the boomers, the AI is a disaster for them. It's a total disaster for them.
Yep.
you know, it's okay though, because you know they're boomers and
We love
we do love. Well,
love
yes,
our
I mean
boomers.
we do love them, but like, look, it's normal for older people to struggle with technology. I think partially that's because they don't expose themselves to it as much as younger people do. People kind of get set in their ways, and they're just like, you know, I'm going to do this. I mean, I'm definitely of the age where a lot of my peers are like not particularly savvy with technology because of, I think, what I do, and because of you know, kind of like my lifestyle and stuff. I am more savvy than the average person that's my age. But I imagine that it'll come in time.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.